יבמות, פרק ט', משנה ג' שניות מדברי סופרים. Now we're going to be discussing when the Rabbanan, when the rabbis said that you're not allowed to marry somebody. Not from the Torah. The rabbis said you're not allowed. It's called shniyot. Nashim ha'asurot medin shniyot la'arayot. This is called second to forbidden relationship. For example, it's from the rabbis. The Torah doesn't specifically say it. For example, kegon em imo. For example, the mother of his mother, his grandmother on his mother's side. Em aviv, the mother of his father. It just says it doesn't say in the Torah you're not allowed to marry your grandmother. Yeah. It says in the Torah you're not allowed to marry the Rabbanan. The grandmother is from the rabbis. Kalat bno, the kala of his son. What does it say, kalat bno?
It says,
It says, I don't know if it says, we'll have to check. We'll check after that. Kalat bito. I think kalat means something of, kalat might mean over here, the one who's married, the second wife. Oh. The second wife. Yeah. Kalat bito. Bat bno. His granddaughters from his son. Bat ben bno, the granddaughter from the granddaughter from his either the granddaughter from the female side or the granddaughter from his male side.
The siblings that come out.
Yeah. Bat bito, or the whole lineage וכולו. שאיסורן מדברי סופרים. All these is prohibited from the rabbis. Not from the Torah. Im hishniya labal, if in all these cases was prohibited to get married to the Baal, he wasn't supposed to marry her. The guy wasn't supposed to marry her to begin with, because it's from the rabbis. From the Torah, he was allowed to marry her. From the rabbis, they said you do not marry her, and he did. But now he dies. And the Yabam is a chiyuv deoraita. Leyabam is a chiyuv from the Torah. So he takes, as long as he doesn't have the prohibition, which is possible because it's soon, now he's required to marry her. Okay? Why? Because she does fall into the din of Yibum. It's not like she's not married. She's married from the Torah. The rabbis said do not do it. So now he has to do Yibum if he can. That's right. So therefore, as long as he's not also Sheni La'arayot, he has to make Yibum. I think in all those cases, by the way, we said that he does Chalitza anyway. We tell him to do Chalitza. If I remember correctly.
The Torah doesn't learn grandmother, or he learn Ima, Gam grandmother. V'gam.
It doesn't say specifically in the Torah, that's why.
It doesn't say V'gam.
Yeah, it doesn't say specifically. That's why it comes from the rabbis. Yeah. If she is a second to the Baal, to the husband, and not to the Yabam, kegon. Let's say it's an example. Kegon shim em imo. This guy married his grandmother on his mother's side. Disgusting, but that's what he did. He married his grandmother. Shel Baal, of the husband, velo shel Yabam. And not of the Yabam. He's going to say, how's it possible? If it's the husband of the Yabam. Remember, they had many wives. So it's possible to have that one of the brothers is his grandmother, and the other brother, it's not his grandmother. Yeah, because he came from a different they came from two different mothers. Shem achim mina av velo mina em. Because they're brothers from the father, but they're not brothers from the mother. So this is an example. He's disgusting. He married his grandmother. He went over the rabbis, whatever the reason, and now he passed away. The Yabam, this grandmother is not his grandmother. He has to. And like I said, I don't think it's. I think the rabbis will tell him do chalitza, even in those cases. Yeah, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So that's one example. אסורה לבעל ומותרת ליבם. So in such a case, she was forbidden to the husband, but she's allowed to the יבם. כלומר, אף על פי שהיא הייתה אסורה לבעל, even though we said there's no marriage over there, don't get married to her, she was prohibited to the husband. מכל מקום, אם מת הבעל בלא בנים, nevertheless, if the husband died without any sons, ונפלה לפני היבם, and she came in front of the יבם, שאינה שנייה עליו, as long as she's also not prohibited to him from the rabbis, מותרת היא להתייבם לו. He's allowed to do ייבום in her. Let's take another example. שנייה ליבם ולא שנייה לבעל. The opposite case. The Baal was married legitimately to this older lady. Yeah? And then the Baal, the husband, died, and the brother, that older lady, is his grandmother.
Ah, wow.
Yeah? That older lady is the grandmother. So maybe you can say now, Isur Deoraita, he's got a mitzvah from, but the rabbis took it away. So what's going on over here? Asura layabam, so she is prohibited to yabam, umuteret labal. The Baal is not a problem, she's allowed to him. וכבר שנינו, and we already explained, שאם היבמה אסורה ליבם, that if the יבמה is prohibited to the יבם מדין שניות לעריות, from second to the עריות, חולצת ולא מתייבמת. All these cases, like we said, it's going to be חליצה and not ייבום. שנייה לזה ולזה, if she's second to this and this one, to both of them, לבעל ויבם, אסורה לזה ולזה, she's prohibited for both. אסורה היא לבעל ואסורה ליבם. She's prohibited for both. ואם עבר אדם הדבר חכמים ונשא שנייה. Okay, what if, in all these cases, what happened if a person didn't listen to the rabbis and he married somebody who the rabbi says do not marry? What happens then? אין לה לאשתו זו לא כתובה ולא פירות. Since the rabbis instituted the concept of ktuba, it's a mitzvah from the rabbis, that says penalty, you don't get ktuba. Why? Don't marry him. Don't marry. Be afraid to marry this guy. Remember, if you marry him, there's no ktuba. No ktuba. So they penalized her. Why? Because they don't want him to get married.
But how do you consider it for chalitza if she's like, they consider it's not married? It's not a married from the Torah, it's prohibited. And now we go and marry her against the Torah, and then why does they have to do yabam? They're כאילו not married.
Because from the Torah she is married. From the rabbi she's not married.
No, but if we pass on transcript from the Torah not to marry his mother, and he married his mother.
And he married his mother?
Yeah.
It's not discussed over here. That's not our Mishnah. We're discussing here Sheni La'arayot, the second La'arayot, only from the rabbis. Only from the rabbis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only the second.
Only the second. That's why he says, Im avar adam al divrei chachamim. On the sages, not on the Torah. Yeah. On the Torah, ונשא שנייה, אין לה לאשתו זו, this wife doesn't have, לא כתובה ולא פירות. She doesn't get כתובה and not fruits. Let's see. We'll see. כבר הזכרנו שבשעת הנישואים כותב הבעל כתובה לאשתו. The rabbis instituted to protect the wife that the husband has to write a כתובה for his wife. שעיקרה היא, the main part of the כתובה, התחייבות כספית על 200 דינר כסף לבתולה או על 100 דינר לאלמנה. If she was never married before, she gets 200 silver. If she was married before, she gets 100 silver. שהיא תקבל, that she's going to receive when, אם יגרשנה או ימות. If he dies or he divorces her. So in other words, it's not going to go to the children. I want to be protected. I want to have a saving account for me, that if you die, this is the כתובה. אבל זו האסורה על בעלה מדין שניות לעריות. But this one, that the rabbis tell you do not get married, we didn't institute this ktuba to protect you. Don't use our ktuba to protect you. Yeah, because we're not giving you the permission to use our ktuba. The ktuba is meant to those who listen to us, not to those who listen. You said you don't want to listen to us, so don't listen to us. You don't have the ktuba. That's the idea. מדין שניות לעריות, אינה מקבלת כסף הכתובה, she doesn't receive this money, משום שכנסוה חכמים, because the חכמים penalize her, ולא פירות, what's פירות? שאין הבעל משלם לה בעד הפירות שאכל מנכסי מילוג שלה. In other words, if she brings in sheep, the sheep are hers, but he takes the wool of the sheep. The wool of the sheep is his. This is the perot. So if she dies, she in a regular marriage, in a kosher marriage, she wants hey, you used my, I want my, all the sheep. No, the sheep I'm going to get back. The sheep, she's going to get, I want all the money that you sold and you put in your bank account, I want it all back to my bank account. I gave it to you for you to use when we're married. Once we're not married, give it to me back. It's not yours. It was mine from the beginning. I give you permission. It's like the Torah gave you permission. Now she doesn't get it back. She gets her sheep back. She keeps the keren, but not the perot. Not the perot. ולא פירות. שאין הבעל משלם לה בעד הפירות שאכל מנכסי מילוג שלה. So the milk from the sheep and everything else, that's it. Again, penalty. Don't get married to him. There's no protection. ואף על פי שזכותו של הבעל על פירות נכסי מילוג, even though that's his prerogative, he's supposed to get it, של אשתו, אינה אלא משום שחייב לפדותה. It says, why did he say we give it to the Baal in the first place? Because the Baal has an obligation, if somebody captures her, for example, the Goyim captures her, he has an obligation to redeem her. He has to pay for her redemption. That was not the custom in those times, the people used to say. He has to redeem her. She's his responsibility. Because of that, he says, if it's married, why am I taking the responsibility? He said, you're going to get something. You can get the fruits for that. Now, אלא משום שחייב לפדותה כשהיא נשבית לבין הנוכרים. He is obligated to redeem her. והרי אשתו זו האסורה עליו ואינו חייב לפדותה. And this one, he doesn't need to. The Rabbi says, you don't have a responsibility. You're not supposed to be married to her. You're supposed to divorce her. Yeah? ולכן היה ראוי שישלם לה מה שאכל מנכסי מילוג שלה. So in a regular marriage, yeah, she should get back the money. But here, what are you getting back? This is a guarantee. If you get some, I'm putting in a saving account, instead somebody's going to kidnap you. Yeah? Over here, even if somebody kidnaps you, I don't have the obligation, so why should you get back? מכל מקום כנסו החכמים. Nevertheless, here, you say, he's going to take your money for no reason, and he has no obligation to redeem you. Don't get married to him.
And yet they put the pressure on the woman and not on the man.
Because she wants to get married, and she wants the security. He doesn't care. The security is for them.
Always the woman wants
to get married. That's right. She wants the security, and she doesn't get security. Why would she marry him?
It's not like today that they have a job and they...
That's right. It's like it used to be. Yeah. Like it used to be 100, 200 years ago. Women had no power whatsoever. All the power was by the men. So you're trying to manipulate the woman into more... He's not a good prospect.
I have no guarantee for me.
Yeah, exactly. You're no good for me. Why do I want to get married? Not to a guy like you. I want to get somebody. He's going to give me a ketubah if you die. Somebody is going to give me.
In other words, she wouldn't get the protection, and that's why she wouldn't want to marry him.
That's right. That's right. שלא תקבה ממנו את הפירות שאכל, כשם שאינה גונה כתובתה. So this one she's not gonna. This is the sages penalized her. ויש מפרשים, there are those who explains, שאין לה דין פירות. That the whole thing about the fruits that he eats, it doesn't go to her. כלומר שאינו חייב לפדותה כשהיא נשבית. He's not obligated to redeem her when she's captured, אף על פי שהוא אוכל פירות נכסי מילוג שלה. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's any way or not, but she doesn't get it. That's the point. ולא מזונות. Also, another thing, he's not obligated even when they're married for מזונות. שאינו חייב במזונותיה. He doesn't give it, needs to pay for her. You want to be married to me? Go work. You don't work? If I want to be nice, I'll give it to you. If I don't want to be nice, tough. A husband is required to feed his wife. This one, the Rebbe says, all the protection will take away from you. So you don't marry him. So you don't find a reason to marry him. ולא חייב במזונותיה. לא בחייו ולא לאחר מותו. Not during his life. You want to eat? Go work. Yeah? ולא בלעות. And not בלעות. What's בלעות? אם השתמש הבעל בנכסי מילוג שלה עד שבלו, if the husband, let's say she inherited a factory, so the factory is hers, the land and the structure and the machines, yeah, but like I said, the fruits from the factory comes to it. But now it's also a problem that he's using the machines, and the machine break down. Yeah, so usually, hey, I gave you a factory that's worth $1 million. Now the factory is worth $500,000. After we divorce, give me the $500,000. I didn't give you to use and destroy it. So here he says he's going to use it, he's going to destroy your machinery, and he's not going to give it to you back after you divorce or he dies. They take everything away from it.
Bring him a herd of 100 sheep, and he said, "Oh, only 50 left."
Oh, very good.
50.
Oh, that's
What
right.
about 50?
That's right. That's right.
Sorry.
So exactly. In other words, you take all her protections. It says.
She wouldn't want to marry.
Oh, that's the point. She wouldn't want to get married. That's exactly what the rabbis did. ולא בלעות. אם השתמש הבעל בנכסי מילוג שלה עד שבלו, if he used the factory until the gun, אינו חייב לשלם את דמיהם. He doesn't have to, he's not obligated to pay the price. ואין אומרים שהואיל ואין לה כתובה, חייב הוא לשלם לה דמי מלאות. Don't say since she doesn't have כתובה, he needs to pay her for the בלאות. שכן כנסו החכמים, this is another penalty from the rabbis, שלא ישלם לה בלאות, that he's not going to pay for all the things that he used and he reduced in price. אבל אלא היא נוטלת מה שקיים מהנכסים הללו. She takes whatever there is and goes home. She cannot complain. Says, you want to get married? Remember, all the protection we did the protection. You don't want to listen to us. You don't want to listen to us? All the protection that we gave the women, we take away from you. In other words, you say, I don't trust you, rabbis. You don't trust us? Okay, go ahead. You don't think we're right? Okay. So all the protection that we gave the women throughout Jewish history is gone from you.
So it's just a woman that has money, she can marry a guy like that. She has a whole security, and she said, I don't need this guy for security.
Yeah. Remember,
in a way.
Yeah, but in those times, there was hardly any women that had money. Yeah. If she lived in the father's home, the father has the money. Or the brothers have the money. You know it from your family. Yeah. I don't need to say. That was and it wasn't 2,000 years ago. We're talking about 100 years ago. That's the way it was. Everything belongs to either the father or the family. The family, who is the family? The father and the brothers. So there were individuals, I'm sure, but it was very rare. Yeah, it was very rare. Okay. But in all these cases, Havalat kasher, he's on a mamzer.
תסביר לי, the married פסול, הכל פסול and the ולד כשר.
פסול דרבנן.
פסול דרבנן.
That's right. But over here, because since from the Torah, they did nothing. The rabbis didn't want mamzerim to run around. They could, by the way, they did have the power to say that the valad is mamzer derabanan. They do have a power, such a thing, to do such a thing, but they didn't want to. They say, well, they didn't want to penalize the kid for no reason, or the family for no reason. Said, why penalize it? We're just going to make it after in other words, we're going to try to prevent it. Once we didn't prevent it, let it go. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I will try to prevent you from zero. But once you know what it's like? It's like today there's a similar thing. When somebody is married to a non-Jew, right? According to plain halacha, she converts, right? Or she wants to get converted now. Why? Because she wants to remain married to him. Nothing to do with religion. So the Rambam says it's not a marriage. Yeah, you can call it a marriage, but the halacha says, yeah, we're going to try to prevent them from getting married. But once they get married and she wants to convert, we let her convert. You know, because why? We're trying to prevent it. Once we didn't prevent it, we don't want to have mamzerim and things like this. So that's the idea. והבלת כשר אפילו לכהונה. Even to כהונה.
זה כשר.
אף כשר.
כשר הבלת, אבל לא לכהונה. מה פתאום עד כהונה?
It's the same thing. You can't...
כהן. איך יכול להיות שהוא כהן?
He's still a
כהן,
Kohen.
הוא לא פסול?
He's still a Kohen.
חלל?
He's not a halal. How is it? They don't have the power to do halal.
בנישואים של...
The rabbis.
איסור דה רבנן.
Isur de Rabbanan. They don't have the power to make halal. Halal is a mitzias. Halal is something, it's like a mamzer. They can do him halal de Rabbanan. They have the power to do halal de Rabbanan, not halal de Oraisa, but they don't want to. Again, for the same reason. They don't want to make him halal. But, kofim oto leotzi. They still are going to say, you have to divorce her. And there's steps how to do it. You're going to ostracize him, you're going to penalize him, you're going to give him lashes. You can force him in order for her to divorce. Let's take another case. Almana le kohen gadol. What happened if the high priest married an almana? He decided, like you said before, almana le kohen gadol. אבל אלמנה שנישאה לכהן גדול באיסור, but an almana that married a high priest in a prohibition, או גרושה וחלוצה לכהן אדיוט, או גרושה אין חלוצה to regular כהן, או ממזרת ונתינה לישראל, או ממזרת to a Jew, או בת ישראל לנתין, or בת ישראל that got married to a natin. You remember the natinim? They're Jews but not Jews. They converted because of the fear. Yeah? ולממזר, all these cases, even though it's in איסור דאורייתא, יש להם כתובה. What's the logic? Let's see. וכן שאר הדברים המנויים לעיל, and also all those things that we mentioned above, not only כתובה, they have פירות, they have מזונות, they have בלעות, they get everything. Why? מבואר הטעם בגמרא. The Gemara gives the reason. לפי שאיסורים אלו היא מן התורה הם. All these prohibitions are prohibitions from the Torah. So it should be more strict. Why are you making less strict? ודברי תורה אינם צריכים חיזוק. It says the rabbis need to give oomph to their words, penalize to their... דברי Torah, you don't need to give an oomph to. The guy knows it's prohibited. There's no reason about it. But shniyot, people are not careful. He says, hey, it's only a second, it's not really. It's not therefore, that's right. In the Torah, it's not like he didn't know. Things from the Torah, they know. Yeah. Everybody knows you're not supposed to marry your mother. Well, you don't have to make it strong. If you marry your mother, I'll take your ketubah. No. Where is it? Where are they afraid to? In things, it doesn't say the Torah. But the guy says, yeah, but it doesn't say in the Torah about my grandmother, so therefore I can marry her. He says, for that kind of thinking will make you not think that way. But for the Torah, we don't need to give, to take away something. אבל שניות לעריות, איסורן מדברי סופרים. ודברי סופרים צריך חיזוק. The words of the rabbis need to be strengthened. ואף על פי שחלוצה לכהן אדיוט, אף היא אינה אסורה מלמד דברי סופרים, but חלוצה to a כהן אדיוט, it's only from the rabbis, and still you get it. מכל מקום אסור כדין גרושה לעניין זה. A חלוצה, they said it's very close to a grusha. We're going to make it, otherwise people are going to think it's not the same. We're going to include her in it. ויש סוברים, there are those who hold, שאומנם חלוצה דינה כדיני שנייה. Some hold, no, she's like a שנייה, there is a penalty. אלא שדרכו שנתן להם כל חלוצה יחד עם הגרושה. But over here, he put it together because it's already, when you say גרושה, you say חלוצה in the same thing. Okay. בעניין שאמרנו שהאלמנה לכהן גדול, we said an אלמנה for the high priest, או גרושה וחלוצה לכהן אדיוט, או דיוורסי או חלוצה to regular priests, יש לה מזונות, she has מזונות, when is it? היינו דווקא לאחר מיתתו של הבעל. The Gemara explains it's only after the husband dies. אבל בחייו אין כופים אותו לתת לה מזונות. But when he's alive, we don't force him to give him mezonot. Why? Because if you force him to anything, it's to divorce her, not to that. So if he comes to forcing, force him to divorce her. But once he dies, you don't have a choice, then you give it to him. מלבד עיקר הכתובה, שהוא 200 דינר לבתולה ו100 לאלמנה. So usually in the ketubah, you get 200 dinar for a non-married lady and 100 to a widow. רגיל הבא להוסיף עוד סכום, הנקרא תוספת כתובה. If you see in the Ketubah, when you read, I read the Ketubah, so you notice over there that it says 100 זקוקים כסף, plus דן דידון, להוסיף לה עוד 100 זקוקים כסף. That's the custom. So it's 100 or 200 plus 100, okay? זה נקרא תוספת כתובה.
You just read the Ketubah.
Yeah, that's what I remember. It's, that's why it says תוספת כתובה. ודין התוספת היא לרוב הדברים כדין עיקר הכתובה. So some says the תוספת and the כתובה is the same thing. But some says no. ברם בעניין ששנינו שאין לשנייה כתובה, we said that the rabbis penalized all these women that they don't get the כתובה, but he went and he wrote a כתובה and he gave it to her. She can't use it. She can't use it for the כתובה, but she can use it for the הוספה. Let's see how. מבואר במפרשים, the commentaries explain, שדווקא עיקר כתובה אין לה. The 200 זוזים, כסף, צרוף, נתן לה, in the כתובה, that she doesn't get. אבל תוספת כתובה יש לה, but the addition she does get. Why? שאינה אלא מתנה בלבד משום חיבה. Because why does the husband give you the הוספה? He says, I like you so much, here's some more money. So it's actually, so it's like a present that he wrote to her, I want to give you $100. Here's the present.
Now practically, if what here in Mishnah Gimel, what the Kohen Gadol he goes and he married Almana, is he can still go be Kohen Gadol?
Yeah, that one area of your life.
But he's gonna die.
So what? It's his problem. He's going to die from many things, not just from that.
הוא יודע שהוא עושה חטא, הולך נגד התורה והוא...
Look, in the I'll give you an example. No, it's practical, There was a time in the second Bet HaMikdash, maybe even in the first Bet HaMikdash.
No, second, the 318 כהנים שהיו שם.
That's right.
כל שנה הולך כהן.
And not only that, they paid bribery in order to be the Kohen Gadol. They knew that they don't belong to the Kohen Gadol, and they knew they're going to die. Yeah. That was the mentality.
זה כבר היה מסחרה שם.
But they knew they're going to die.
כן.
Think about it. It's worth it.
They were already in a low level as Kohen Gadol.
The halacha goes, the halacha goes for all times. Yeah. That's the halacha. What happens if this is what happens?